Do not walk into that arena, into that tank fight with fists, because you're not going to win. If you watch my last video about the origin of CBP officers and where they came from, you will understand, although it's a new department post 9/11, the people who work there as CBP officers, the new ones, right? They weren't new to the job. They were drawn from other branches of CBP, like your immigration officers and people like that. All they did was have a new uniform, basically, and a new name. So they came already experienced. Now, this ties into why the CBP officer interview has such a high fail rate. Over 60% of a fail rate is for people who go into a CBP interview. Now, this surprises a lot of people because many of you, and rightfully so, feel you're qualified on paper, right? You might have a degree, you might have LEO experience, you might have military experience, you might have just life experience that you think would relate well to CBP. And you would probably be correct if you understood how to answer questions in a CBPO interview. Many of you are. When I realize you're in my coaching program, I tell you, you had this, this, and this, but you didn't know how to state that. The reason why 32% of my people are what I call returns. They're people who don't pass the first time. Then they come to see me to show them how to pass. And what I realized very quickly, yes, most of you, about 80% of you have the skill sets necessary. You just don't know how to talk about it in the interview. You don't know how to advertise yourselves. And that's the problem. It's not because you don't have the intelligence or the motivation or the experience. You're misunderstanding the purpose and intent behind the interview. For one, what's it called? The SI, right? Structured interview. Therefore, it's a structured behavioral-based assessment. That's what they're looking for. The panel has zero interest in hypothetical answers, emotional experiences, and general intentions. Those are all great for your civilian-based interviews. It's very loose, very relaxed. People are smiling at you, asking you, hey, where'd you come from? How's the weather? And stuff like that. These guys have no interest or patience for that. If you follow my channel for even a month, you will see there is a morph taking place with these panels. They're less patient now. They don't have it anymore. They're asking more difficult questions. I've had to ramp up my coaching program from last year because they're asking more difficult questions now. And so I have to help you pass by ramping up my coaching program as well. But they're not playing around. They're looking for specifics. So what do you mean by specifics, Coach Mitch? What does that mean? Judgment, integrity, accountability. That's just a start. We get into the rest in my coaching program. Decision making under pressure, tenacity. Those are things we're going to really dive into in my coaching program. It is why I have a 90.4% success rate, because I teach my clients that. You have to clearly communicate this, because the panel doesn't award points. Everybody thinks, oh, I got like 10 points there, I got 20 points there. And no, there is no such thing as a point system for that. They're looking at your verbiage and how much you say that relates to the job at hand. That's what they're looking at. Most of you, when I first talk to you in my coaching program, the first 10 minutes, I'm already grilling you with some interview questions. And here's the deal. Most of you are answering me like you're civilians, because you are, right? But you're answering me that way. That you're bringing that, if you didn't go to me first, you go to the CBPO interview first with that civilian type mindset, you're not going to pass. You don't have a chance. It is not a civilian type interview. No one cares where you're going to be in 5 years. No one cares how many degrees you have. No one cares about your GPA. No one cares about that. It's going to be a hard, rough, bam, 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 and you're done. That's it. See you later. Have a good day. Next. You're just another face unless you make yourself not just another face. I cannot say this enough. You have to understand there are key points in the interview where you must be able to talk. You must be able to clearly state where you're coming from. You must be able to understand their policies, understand their procedures. And then you must be able to say it with conviction and meaning, with confidence. When you say that, that's the deal. You guys, and some of you who have prior law enforcement or military, that's not going to help you either. You're assuming it's going to carry you through the interview. It's not going to carry you through the interview. I'm a vet. I know what I'm talking about. It's not enough just to say I'm a vet and go from there. You have to know how to talk. Look, here's the real deal. If you have prior experience, that's great. But if you cannot relate or discuss that or transfer that experience from your mouth to their ears, it's no good. And guys, I want to tell you last, by people out there who have an accent, who worry about their accent, we can overcome that too. We do it all the time. Don't let these things stop you. Do not walk into that arena, into that tank fight with fists, because you're not going to win. You have to understand what's going on here. They can hire the best of the best. They're dealing with 12 faces just like yours every day. If you don't cut it, who cares? They pick somebody else. Why do that? Why waste 6 months to come back and do it again? This is Coach Mitch. I'm telling you guys, if you want help with your CBP interview, I'm here for that. The CBP officer interview is very serious. It's very real. It's very structured. I understand you want the badge, but there's a process to get to the badge, okay? You guys take care. Coach Mitch, have a good day. Bye-bye.